Well done, mate. You're under a lot of pressure.
Yeah, the pressure was never off right to the end, you know. Because the temperature's a little bit different than it was yesterday. Definitely working the tyres a little bit harder. And it's just the wind and between the wind and the tyre just working a little bit harder. It was a struggle to the end. I was watching my lap times, they were nothing like they were yesterday. But obviously it was the same for everybody. I just knew that, you know, things went the way I wanted. It was sliding around a lot, but it was the same for everybody. I just kept the head down.
Dean put you under pressure, was right up alongside you at one point, then faded away. Vermeulen and your teammate McCarthy started from basically right at the very back after pitting. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that, but I've seen some oil coming out of Chris Vermeulen's bike, so that's obviously what happened there with him.
So it's been a long time coming, but you must be a very happy man. Jim Whitlam said something about that you might be going out for a drink tonight, but then again you're tighter than Fogarty.
Those two got cheek to talk.
Very well done, Jim.
Thanks.
Kirk, at the beginning of the race you looked like you were falling back quite a few places. What was going on at the start?
We got a good start, and then the clutch was starting to slip, so it was just getting worse and worse. And I thought, when the pace car came out, I thought I'll come in and hop on the spare bike. They said we're not allowed to, so they just adjusted the clutch again. I went out. Then I think Chris came in as well because he was smoking a little bit, and then just went from the back basically. I was trying to catch the pace car up before they put the green flag out, but we didn't quite make it.
Well, you certainly made up a few places and a fantastic lap record in all that traffic. Well done, respect.
Thank you. I had no idea where I was. I was just going and trying to reel some in because I wanted to get some points. I knew I couldn't get to the front, but I just wanted to try and get some points out of it anyway.
Chris, some impressive riding out there from you. A shame you didn't get third. You nearly made it. You should have done it. You really did deserve it.
Yeah, I know. I came right up on the back of him on the last lap then, and Dino saw me come in behind him, so he just hugged the tight line around the turn. I couldn't outpower the Ducati to the line, but it was good fun anyway.
Okay, so why did you pull into the pits then?
Well, I was following the pace car around, and all the riders come up pointing at my bike, and I slowed down, talked to Jim down the back straight, and he said there's smoke coming out of my bike. And some of the other guys in here said they saw it on the monitor as well, so I had to come in case there was oil leaking or something. But the team said there was nothing wrong, so I just went straight out again. We came from last up to fourth, so...
We realised there was nothing wrong when we saw you on the straight and you passed three people effortlessly.
No, well, I had to get a good run out of the turn and follow the slipstreams, but yeah, the bike's getting better and better all the time, so hopefully we can keep improving and maybe win the next one.
There's a lot of talent at Donington Park, and if you kept your eyes open, you could see the Superbike World Champion. What do you like about the domestic scene? I mean, what is outstanding as far as you can see from a World Championship perspective?
I think the closeness of it, really. I could be a bit cruel and say there's nobody outstanding out there, but they're all at the same sort of level, really. It seems to be every weekend changing, and I just love to see people like Steve Hislop, John Reynolds and Neil Mackenzie, who are like older than me, you know, going out there and beating them. I think it's brilliant. I can't believe, you know, the way John's riding this year. People like that. That's what I like to see. The old guys coming back to Britain and having the motivation to go out and do it. I think, you know, I relate to that. I respect that a right lot, really.
The machinery's pretty hot in the domestic scene as well, isn't it?
The machinery's the same as mine. That's it. Full stop. It's no different. The guys like Hodgson and Mackenzie and John Reynolds and his teammate. It's just the same machines I've got. I mean, you know, that didn't happen when I was doing British Championships. I had like a slow bike compared to world standard, but now they got the same machinery as us.
What about the track? You've been keeping an eye on what's been going on here. You've been keeping an eye on lap times. Is this some kind of precursor for when you arrive here for the World Superbike round?
No, not really. Donington's one of my favourite tracks, to be honest. But to be honest, I think a British Championship rider could win a World Championship race here this year. And people might be surprised at that, but you know, when I go to Japan, the local guys win, and when I go to America, the local guys win. So when I come here, there's no reason why the local guys should win, because it's not about speed here. It's all about riding around Donington. It's all about keeping the corner speed up. And you know, for me, there should be a few guys in the British Championship capable of finishing on the roster in a World Championship race here, if not winning it, I think.
Carl Fogarty said a British rider could win at Donington's World Round later this year. Certainly the qualifying times are fast this week. In fact, poleman Steve Hislop is under Troy Corser's lap record. John Reynolds is there on the front row with Neil Hodgson and Chris Walker. Row 2, it's James Hayden, Neil Mackenzie, Steve Plater and John Crawford. Row 3 sees Goddard, Emmett Brown and Tosland versus row 4 of Michael Rutter, Paul Young, John Crockford and Shane Byrne.
Okay, one man on pole here, Steve Hislop. Steve, not a great race for you in race 1. What happened?
Well, we still don't know. I think the transmission went on the bike, but you know, I had one or two small problems, but we were hanging in there good.
And what about this? Is this a spare then?
Yeah, this is a spare bike. A few differences to it, so fingers crossed. I think we're not far away.
The tension and the temperature is rising for race 2. All eyes are on the grid. Race 2, into gear then. Steve Hislop on pole. Will he do it this time round? Revs rise, red lights on, and green. And again, Walker gets a flyer off the line there. Walker on the opposite side to Hislop. Hislop's gone backwards. That's an absolutely lousy start from Izzy there. Into red. Oh, sideways on goes Walker. We're on board with Kawasaki, I think. Steve Plater. That's Reynolds in front, so Plater is in 4th place at the moment. Down Hollywood. There goes Izzy. Oh, dear me, there goes Hayden as well. On Hollywood now, heading down towards Crater Curves. It is Walker, the stalker, that leads from Hodgson. Much better start from him, Scott.
And Hislop's already on a mission coming around the outside, down through Crater Curves. He made a good recovery through Redgate because he didn't get the Yamaha off the line at all.
He really didn't, but he's up in the 3rd place already. So Steve Hislop on bike number 8, the Virgin Mobile. Yamaha is there in 3rd place, but chasing number 4, the INS Ducati of Neil Hodgson. And this man, race leader at McLean, number 2, the National Tyre Suzuki of Chris the Stalker Walker, the man who blew up in race 1. So behold, together for him this time round because he deserves a bit of a win this year.
Yeah, Hodgson's wondering which way he's gone. He's already pulling out half a second lead.
Yeah, well, that was what surprised me about race 1 when Hizzy managed to get the better of Walker somewhere around that part of the track as well. But Hizzy working hard in 3rd place. Hayden's right there as well behind. Oh, a wiggling John Reynolds. And then it's Neil McKenzie on bike number 7. So this man's teammate.
Yeah, Reynolds, we never saw him as out of control of that during the whole of the first race.
No, he certainly left his braking sort of devastatingly late there. He wasn't going to let anybody get underneath him. We're at Melbourne for the first time then. It's Walker that tips in from Hodgson from Hislop. Hislop got the front end of that bike skittering there as well. It certainly looked like it was pattering fairly well in. Then it's the 2 Rev 8 Red Bull Ducatis of number 3 Reynolds and number 5 Hayden. Then you look back to number 7, the wheeling INS Ducati of Neil McKenzie.
Yeah, it's very easy to forget that the first couple of laps you've got 18 kilograms of fuel, where the last time you rode it, it was virtually empty. 2
Kawasaki's have gone off the line fairly well as well. They've got to follow Sean Emmett on the SB1 Harris Honda Britain bike. And we look at Redgate. It's Walker, Hodgson, Hislop, Reynolds, Hayden and McKenzie. That's how they cross the line, the top 6 at the end of lap 1. We're on Hollywood already. 50 lap, well, 47.5 miles is your race distance, 19 laps. This is only the 2nd lap.
Yeah, Reynolds never seems to lead from the start, never makes great starts, but he always comes through, so I think he's going to be a bit of a danger man in this again.
Age and experience, and sideways goes Chris Walker as we pick him up as he goes under the bridge and out towards McLean, through Swans Curve, and up towards McLean's now, into the braking area. Chris Walker, well, I'd like to have what he has for breakfast if it's made me look that good.
Yeah, he manages to poker all his anger, doesn't he? So I think after that disappointment in the first race, he is going to be virtually unstoppable this time.
Yeah, just didn't want to talk to any of us after that one. Who can blame him, of course? It's very unusual for that bike to go back. Didn't see any of that as far as my memory goes from last year. Look at Hodgson on the inside line there. So Hodgson is going to have to go well there if he's going to catch Walker on the brakes. Still Hizzy homing in 3rd place on the Red Virgin Mobile bike.
Ran wide there on the brakes.
Whoa, dear me. Did Hodgson get under him on the power? He looks as if he's going to. Here comes Hizzy. He has at Melbourne, but Walker again on the brake. Very. Oh!
There was no room at all there.
Dear me, Hizzy was really squeezed hard there. A mark of his experience, and he didn't panic with that one because really the door was closed. He's got a bloody nose from how fast it was closed as well.
McKenzie's made quite a good start this race. You can see he's just behind, just coming to the shot now. So best start we've seen him make in a long time.
So INS Ducati of Neil Hodgson leads on lap 2. So number 4 Hodgson, well, he looked fairly menacing in race 1. Now he's got lots of good clean air in front of him as Walker slips back into the clutches of Hislop, Reynolds, Hayden, and if we're not careful, McKenzie as well. McKenzie's actually threatening here, I think.
Yeah, both the INS bikes are going really well in this race. Hodgson's as aggressive as we've seen him in so long.
Yeah, really, hasn't he? A complete change of attitude there. 1 minute 34.9. That's not bad this early on in the race with a full fuel tank, that's for certain. So, Hodgson, not so quick down into the old hairpin though. He's been caught again by Walker and Hislop. That's where this really is Hislop's domain, isn't it? Down Crater Curve through the old hairpin and round to McLean's here. Izzy really goes good.
Yeah, we see all the riders poloing up on one another throughout the lap because there's different strong points in different places of the track.
So, Izzy right on the rear wheel of Walker, bike number 2, but he's right on the rear wheel of number 4, Hodgson. So, 4-cylinder Suzuki versus twin-cylinder Ducati at the front. Walker looks to to the inside line, but Hodgson's got it covered. Well, you can't get them any closer than this. 5 bikes, absolutely no